got you, motherfucker, got you, Kia, Gucci, Uraka. I don't know if I can say the name. I'm pretty sure it's Gachiakuta, but it is fucking awesome. Sometimes it's not awesome, but it's overall it's pretty fucking fantastic. Overall, I'd say it's pretty overly subpar, not subpar. It's over par. What's over bar? Over the bar? Come reach over the bar. What am I saying? But Gachiakuta is fucking awesome. If you haven't seen it, you haven't heard about it, you're an idiot. Well, you're not an idiot. It's a kind of a low ball anime. It's not. I really gotta get in. I gotta get in my groove. Okay, I haven't done this in a while. It's been a hot minute since I just sat here and I talked about something exciting and not depressing. Okay, I'm sorry. I want to do things by myself. Sorry, I'm rubbing. That's not what it looks like. I'm rubbing sticky stuff off of this lighter just because it's bothering me when I touch it. But it's okay. Look, I don't do things by myself anymore. I only do things with my friends because being by myself is hard. Okay, because then it's just me and me is I just annoy myself half the time. I literally just spent an entire hour with my buddies yesterday, and it was just me yapping. And I literally just one point I was like, why do I say what am I doing? But what I'm doing right now is I'm talking about Gachiakuta. Gachiakuta is this new anime that it's not really new, I don't think. I don't know how old it is. But I found it myself, and I was scrolling through Crunchyroll, and I saw it popped up, and it said Gachiakuta in an old post-apocalyptic world or whatever, where there's rich people and poor people on two sides of a planet. There's poor people, and there's rich people. The rich people don't like the poor people, but they're on like a floating island, and apparently if you commit a crime, you get thrown into this thing called the pit. You don't want to get thrown into the pit. The pit is fucking dangerous, and that's where all this fucking trash goes. It's all about trash. There's a lot of trash involved in Gachiakuta, so if you like trash, like Oscar the Grouch would love this anime, I think. He'd probably be his favorite anime of all time. Elmo did not visit Gachiakuta. He did visit Grouchland, which was unfortunate because I feel like if Elmo visited Gachiakuta, a lot of the issues would have been solved due to his very friendly nature. There is a dude who reminds me of the evil man in the Elmo in Grouchland. The guy that goes, "It's mine, mine, mine." That guy. There literally is a character that just is dead on. Reminds me of him. Straight to the fact that he's an adult in like a world full of children. He did in the Grouchland movie. This guy didn't have sex with children, but in the TV show they do. Yeah, I'm gonna get into that. That's actually a really bad part of the show that I don't appreciate. Even if it's like, oh, trying to stick, it's bullshit. We'll get into it. But like I said, so they throw the trash in this like thing called the pit, and I was like super interested. I was like, oh my god. And then there's like magical powers. It's all about trash and like the upper class and like classism and shit. That's dope. It's not about that at all. It is, like, tangentially, but, like, it's fucking crazy, bro. There is, like, mad lore to this show, and it just keeps expanding upon itself in the same way that Attack on Titan does. Not the same way that One Piece does, where like, you have to wait 400 episodes, but in, like, Attack on Titan, where, like, near the end of an arc, you get, like, one big revelation that solves one issue of, like, oh, I understand this now, but, like, what the fuck is this now, you know? And the last couple episodes blew my fucking mind. The fight scenes in this show are like up to JJK level, I would say. Not really. No, because JJK is more like hand-to-hand combat and way more like intuition, and these ones are more like one super power move does the thing, and like everything besides the super power move is just them hitting each other for a little bit and then yapping and then explaining their power system like every other shonen anime is, and then explaining their power system, and then the one guy goes, yeah, but you can't beat me because I have this hidden power that I waited till just now. But in this show, it's kind of fun because at one point someone just whips out a gun, and I don't know why, but for some reason I was just like, oh my god, a gun is OP. In a world full of magic, and in a world where people can, like, turn their hair into lightning and, like, use an umbrella to make an octagonal slash move on the ground, you know, a gun is just OP. And it does make sense, because it's just like in that thing with Naruto, where, like, if some dude in Naruto just had, like, a Glock, just, like, bullet jutsu, bang, bang, there would be no shot for Naruto to win. It would just not go well for anyone involved in the Shinobi universe if there was guns involved. There are guns in there, but like, you know, they're actual, like just an actual gun. But it's crazy. The power system is not fun in this show either. It's really weird to talk about. They have these sacred instruments things, which, well, it's not. It is fun. What am I saying? Why did I say that? It is the show is fun. It just pisses me off with a lot of the fun stuff it does, and it's like, me personally, I don't appreciate some of it, but that's a me problem that I can understand. The show is great, but yeah, the fights are like they're kind of on a scale of like Attack on Titan. I don't know, no, not even really, because I'm trying to like find a way to like talk about it. The fights are cool, but they're mostly just cool because like the music in the background that just goes hard and just makes them so fucking like fantastic and fire. The music, the tracks they have in this show are awesome. I'm pretty sure they're all like made for the show too. From what I remember, the only reason I started watching it was, you know what? Before we get into it, I'm gonna go smoke real quick. I'll be right back. Gachiakuta. The way I found it, I was scrolling through Crunchyroll one day because I was like just going through trying to find like the new anime that they pop. Look at the new anime that just dropped, and it was like a year ago now. I saw the show called Gachiakuta, and it fucking caught my attention because it was like poor people throw trash in the city, but then all the trash gets put off of the city, off of this floating island, to like this thing called the pit. And there's like a whole magic thing, and then the one guy gets caught up with like a murder, and he gets thrown into the pit, and it's crazy. And I was like, oh my god, okay. I was like, okay, there's a big mystery roll. I was like, oh shit, this is kind of cool. It would be really dope if me and my buddy Murph, who's also really in the anime, me and him got the One Piece together. I was like, yo, we should watch this together. I go over to his house. I say, yo, Murph, let's watch Gachiakuta. He says, no. I'm like, what the fuck? And he said, I'm watching it with my brother right now. I can't watch it with you. We were on episode 1, and I was like, man, fuck you, bro. And then, like 2 weeks ago, I watched a video from Mushroom Man, who does a lot of One Piece reviews. He's very funny. I'll link him in the description. He's very hilarious. Mushroom Man. His One Piece reviews are fucking hilarious. How many times have I said hilarious in the last like 5 seconds? Are funny as shit. Like I love them. I love watching them. I've rewatched them over a billion times by now. Probably it's an exaggeration, obviously, but I love watching them. They're awesome. They're great One Piece chapter reviews. Not even like arc reviews in general. He talks about the manga and how it's different from the anime, and it's all very funny. And at the very end, he gets really serious and wraps up, and then tells like his serious reactions. And it's really good videos. I highly recommend them. He did a video about Gachiakuta, about the first 3-4 episodes of it, which is basically one arc. Oh, we love short arcs in anime. There's 24 episodes. I think there's 6 arcs in total in the 24. They're all split up, so it's really dope. I love it. It was very fun to just watch, to like get a question and then get an answer for that question in like 3 episodes, but then also have it be more of a mystery to where like, okay, I need to fucking keep watching because this is so interesting. So he makes this video about Gachiakuta, and I'm like, okay, now I have to watch it, because I watched the video. I kind of got spoiled for the first couple episodes. It looked dope as shit. The way he talked about it was fun. Now I need to watch it. So I decided to watch Gachiakuta for the last like 3 days. I binged it, and I finished it. Do I have issues? 100%, because there's a lot of issues. But like I said, off rip, I just want to say the best part of the show is the lore and the mystery of it. It just constantly keeps building upon itself, and it's just really cool. The fight scenes with the music are awesome as well. The powers are really fun and unique, and I like the way that they work and they do things, and how it's more of like a emotional attachment to an object rather than like you find a thing and like your magic and you have to use your own power. It's your emotions power the object itself. It's how much you care for something is how deeply or how powerful the thing is, and it's really dope. And it also works in an evil way, because, and this is out of it's I forget what it's called, but if something has such an emotional attachment to it, but it doesn't have a person attached to it, it becomes this thing called a trash beast, and it's a giant evil monster fueled by rage and everything. But not rage; it's just fueled by emotion, because everything has the whole point of the show. I'm too stupid to actually get the metaphor and explain it, but I'm going to try. The show is all about trash. The main character, Rio, loves trash. He sees value in everything. His power is confusing at first, because in the show you have this thing called sacred instruments, which is the item I was talking about that you care a lot about. and then that item then becomes a weapon for you to use, because of the emotions that you put into it, and then the care and stuff you put into it. So you usually only get one sacred instrument that you use, and it's like your weapon, it's like your forte or whatever. Ryu has these gloves that were given to him by his father figure. He calls it his dad, but it's not actually his dad. He found out later his dad is this fucking crazy lord that's fucking insane. But sacred instrument, his is these gloves, and what he does is he basically makes everything else a sacred instrument. But that's not actually true. That's what they think. What he actually does is he fulfills the thing's purpose that he sees it as it should have had as an item before it gets destroyed and thrown away as trash. He fulfills its purpose, essentially, because he loves trash, and he sees the purpose in everything, even humans and everything like that, which is also kind of weird that they say that, because he's also very crazy, and he has this intense rage built up inside of him that's just internal, and I can't tell if that's, because it's kind of confusing whether or not it's a thing that he has in him that he can't control, and he has to learn how to, like, combat it or whatever, or if it's just a metaphorical thing that he just, because of what happened to him and, like, how he was treated and everything, he can't, he has this uncontrollable rage, and it doesn't make sense, but I'm pretty sure it will, because I keep saying things about the show, and then they make sense later on, so it's cool. I am going to spoil a lot about the lore. I'm probably not going to talk about the actual show itself, just mostly about the lore and, like, the mystery and everything, because I thought that was the coolest part. If you want to see the actual show, you can just go watch it. It's on Crunchyroll, and it's awesome, and I highly recommend it. But I'm just going to talk about the things that I think that I found were cool, and the things I didn't find were cool. Number one thing I did not find was cool: the shit humor. I don't mean that as in, like, it was garbage humor. I mean, like, the actual shit humor, as in, like, shit jokes. Like, in the third episode, he literally grabs a plunger and he throws shit at a guy. It's funny for, like, the first second when you realize it, but then as it goes on and it becomes, like, a whole rest of the episode long thing, it is just annoying and childish and stupid, and you can be more clever. I know you can. The show is interesting to the point where, like, there's such a huge mystery to it. I know you can be more clever with your humor. I don't know why you're not. It doesn't make any sense to me why a lot of jokes or a lot of things are ended up just being like, shithead, piss you, or here's a bathroom. Like, it's just annoying. I don't like that, and especially in a show about the class system and how people get treated like shit, and there's, like, abuse victims as our main character, and, like, people are dying, and there's, like, literally a guy called Jabber who's known to, like, torture people with poison and laugh at them as he dies, and he's literally a masochist who gets turned on by getting hurt, which, like, is funny when they don't, like, when it's like he just mentions it offhandedly, and then when the guy goes, I'm getting erect right now, when talking in front of a bunch of children that are beating him up, it doesn't become funny anymore. It's just weird, and it's just dumb, and it just feels like you're scratching at the bottom of the barrel for, like, easy jokes you can make. Like, oh, how can I make this enemy who's supposed to be super scary and terrifying, who can poison you and give you, like, visions and paralyze you, how can I also make him funny? Let's make him get horny as he gets beat up. No, just make him scary. Like, you're in a world where, like, you're in a world where people are fighting giant monsters made of trash, where, like, people die by falling trash. You're like, you'll just be standing there 1 minute, and trash will fall and kill you, but yet you still just do the basic, I got a shit joke. It's just annoying, and it's just, like, it's a constant thing throughout the entire show, and I get humor is subjective. If you like that, you like it. Me, personally, I don't like that. It's not a thing that I enjoy, so when it starts to happen in the middle of, like, an intense fight, or, like, an intense moment, and it's just ruined by, like, a joke, like, with that type of stuff, it just pisses me off, and it ruins it for me. I don't like that. Number two thing I don't like, Amo. I love Amo as, like, a character. I don't like how it tricks you into thinking she's an above age woman, only to find out later that she's not, when you look it up and it says that her age, apparently in the manga, is unknown. But people speculate that she's 16 because she relates to the main character, who's also 16. But it's just an insane thing that happens to her through the, like, it just pissed me off, and it genuinely made me want to, it genuinely disgusted me, and it made me want to stop watching the show, and I get that was kind of the point, but, okay, let me explain something else. The show has no stakes. Nobody's going to fucking die, which pisses me off a lot. That's another thing I hate about the show. It pisses me off a lot because, why? We hear death is a big thing on the ground. We hear people die from falling trash, and they have to find special cities and build things with overhangs so they don't die from trash. There's pollution that everywhere because all the trash on the ground that if you breathe it in enough, you just die. And we hear that death is a very common thing on the ground. So why do none of our main characters die, and they're the ones fighting the giant monsters supposed to kill you, and some of them are just regular fucking humans who are super strong? Like, there's a moment where there's this character called Grish. Great character, I love him. The main people with the powers are called givers, and they are the special guys that can use their tools or whatever. These people called the supporters, they are just super strong, and they can just punch things really hard, but they don't have powers to kill the beast, so they're just there to support. Grish is a character that is very important for our main character because he shows our main character that he's not a worthless hack and that he has an ability that he can use, but he gives him a reason to use his ability. He gives him purpose, and he lets Rio know that he's not worthless, essentially. Grish is an important character for the growth of Rio. He's like a mentor figure at one point, which is important for someone like Rio who has no one anymore, whose father figure died, and who's now in a place where he doesn't know anything, and he needs to learn. Normally, the mentor figure then dies. There's a perfect moment in this show where the mentor figure, Grish, could have died in the arc that they were in, against Jabber, who becomes a recurring villain who would have not only given Rio some motivation to fucking kill this guy, but to, it would just add stakes to the show. Grish gets stabbed in the chest with these 3-pronged claw things that Jabber has, and cut right down the middle. There's literally a whole gash right there. He's bleeding out on the floor. This gives Rio the emotional thing that he needs to fucking use Grish's talisman and make it this giant, epic, fucking cool defense demon thing behind him that basically makes him invincible and you can't hit him if you want to hit him. If you have the intent to hit Rio, then you can't hit him. So what Jabber does, and this is just this is just really cool, what Jabber does to fight it off was he stabs himself with his own toxins, which makes him go brain dead, which should fucking kill him, but I guess he's immune to his own thing. He goes into second phase, basically, which I was getting pissed off at Jabber. Had like 18 phases. He should have died so much earlier. Him being a reoccurring villain also pisses me off, but I understand it, and he's fun to fight, and it's cool that the stick guy got his get back, even though he didn't get his get back. Now I'm thinking about it, there's so much shit I'm gonna fucking ramble about, man. Jesus. So Jabber then fights Rio, and it's all cool, and then the stick guy comes at the end, and he's like, Rio, what if I attack you, and then I teleport, and then I hit him? And it was a really cool fight. It was really interesting. It was very dope. Somehow, Jabber survives. I don't know. They literally should have fucking killed him. It's insane that they don't kill him. Why don't they kill people? That's just not our thing. Bro, they're trying to murder you. They are going to sacrifice you to a giant beast. You don't know that yet at this time, but they're going to. How are you not dead? It just makes me mad. So, Grish is dying on the floor. And if he died there at that moment, because he's the one who realizes that Rio's power isn't making the items, it is giving items a purpose, like fulfilling their purpose. So if he dies after realizing that, and after giving Rio the stuff that he learned to learn to use his power and understand it, that would not only add stakes to the show of like, oh my god, main characters we think and we care about can die. That's crazy. Now I have to worry about these people actually dying. Even if no one dies ever again, it's still going to be back in my mind, Grish died, so these people might die. Not only does it do that, but it also ruins this Amo thing for me because it just like it comes out of nowhere, and it's like you want your whole world to be dark and gritty and have like this emo fucking so dark exterior to it, like everything's so evil and the world sucks and it's tragic and everything sucks kind of thing to it. You want that? Then make people die! Make people get killed! That's like a number one way to make a dark, mysterious atmosphere, or like a haunting thing of like we're always going to be scared kind of thing. That's what it seems the show's trying to do. It seems like it's trying to be all dark and everything. They may not explain it correctly, but it does. And it just doesn't do that when you have this guy come back to life almost instantly for like a bit, and then you have the Amo thing, which I'm going to get into now. So the Amo thing, they meet this character named Amo. She's a girl who lives in the polluted desert, and she can breathe in the smoke apparently, and she's seen this angel that can get him back up to the sphere that's like the place that he got thrown down into the pit from. And so they meet her, and they gotta go see her to get information. They meet her, and they start to fight her. She has this really fucked up ability to have perfume come out of her boots that then produce memories. Now, the reason doesn't sound like, or happy memories, it doesn't sound fucked up, but someone mentions not all happy memories end up being happy at the end. Some of them end up being tragic, and you could really fuck someone up. You're playing with their emotions. When I heard that, I was like, oh my god, this is one of the most fucked up things in the fucking world. Because she uses this to control you and everything, and then make you fight for her, because she becomes the icon of love in your head, and then because you don't want to hurt that person, and you're seeing that person get hurt, then you want to protect her, and it just fucks with your head. It's just a giant mind fuck thing. It's really fucking, it's horrible. It's really fucked up, and it's really cool as like a fight thing, as like a fighting against it, and it's a really cool fight scene again. It's awesome. I enjoyed it a lot. What I did enjoy is Rio beats the shit out of her, and Rio beats the shit out of her after she makes him see the girl who betrayed him and everything. He beats the fuck out of her. And I kind of cheered a little bit. I was like, okay, fuck yeah. She kind of deserved it. The whole time she never got fucking hit. You know, they were fucking doing the old stupid hentai bondage rope dumb bullshit, which fucking, oh god, I hate anime. But, you know, it was like that. And she didn't get hit. And then he beats the fuck out of her. I was like, deserved. After what she put them through, deserved. The next episode, you find out she was sold as a slave, a sex slave, to this person by her mother, who she loved, and it's like a crown drawing of like her being happy as she goes to the man who her mom says is going to love her forever, and it tricks Amo's young brain, because at the time she's like 5, into being like, oh my god, he loves me, I'm going to be loved forever, this is awesome, this is what love is. And then you see his face, and you're like, at first you're like, it's not gonna go where I think it's gonna go, right? We're not going to Little St. James here, right? No, we are going there, because he, like, it doesn't say it specifically until it does. He's like, remember when Master loved Amo, and Amo's like, no, I don't really like that, it's not cool. Then God's like, no, but that's just what love is. I think you're in love with me. That's why you feel this way. That's why and then Amo's like, I'm in love with you, and then she's like, oh my god, it's fucking disgusting, dude. There's a crown child-like drawing of 2 nude bodies swimming to the clouds and then connecting together after they talk about that, insinuating that he goes over and fucking molests her, and then it just gets fucking worse from there, because then these angel people come in, they beat the guy up, which, okay, thank god, you think he's gonna fucking die now. And before you die, it was during Amo's fight, she mentioned something to them that the boots smell like her master, the person who taught her love. So she's wearing the boots, and it's just fucking, and when you learn, dude, it's fucking disgusting. It doesn't belong to the show, let alone be a whole episode. If it was like, just like, you thought about it, like you heard, and like, whatever. No, they show you like every fucking detail, basically. And the words that it's just disgusting. It's fucking gross. Especially when the show itself sexualizes the girl. That's what is so gross about it, because it wouldn't be so gross if, like, she was wearing normal clothes and everything like that, and the show treated her like a normal girl, and then they showed you this and everything like that. No, she's wearing just like a bra and panties, and she, like, there's a bunch of scenes where she's getting tied up or she's bent over, and it's, why do that? And then it's so fucking gross. This literally kind of almost, me even talking about it, I'm getting pissed off, because it literally almost ruins the show. I have to just forget this episode exists, or forget that it happened, when rethinking about the whole thing, in order for me to be like, oh, okay, this is like a fucking 8 out of 10 maybe. It's like a 5 out of 10 with this, because why sexualize the girl who you're then going to show me got abused by someone, and the reason that she's like this, and she's like mentally ill too, she talks in the third person, she can't like comprehend love, and the reason she's doing these things to people is because she's lonely and she wants them to love her, but she doesn't understand that forcing me, it's just fucking crazy, dude. Why do all that? Then show it's fuck Jesus Christ. So then these angel people come in and they beat the guy up. They steal his boots and they give them to her. And she's like, oh my God, I love the boots. They're mine now. The first thing that was given to me. And then they leave. And she sees like wings and she's like, oh my God, it's a fucking angel. So then the guy comes up and he's like, Amo, give me my foot. He's like, Amo, give me my boots. Those are mine. They're not yours. You can't take something that doesn't belong to you. They're my object. They're my item. And Amo says, no, please, can I have them? And he says no. He then proceeds to kick the fucking shit out of her. And as he's kicking the shit out of her, we hear her inner monologue as she's getting kicked, being like, this feels like nothing. This used to feel like nothing before, but now this just feels wrong. I want the boots. And she keeps begging for these boots, only to then kill the guy by pushing him out the window. Clap it. Pedophile fucking dead. Thank God. But then she still loves him so much that she keeps the boots and she thinks about him, and it's fucking crazy, dude. It's fucking insane to do this bullshit, then to sexualize her, and then not only that, it gets even fucking worse. Then, actually, this is her telling the story to all of them. They all hear this story, then they go, oh my God, now I kind of feel bad I beat the fuck out of her. Yeah, you fucking should, but you didn't know, and she treated you like shit before. So then Rio does the nice thing. He goes up to her and says, hey, maybe we can use our hands to connect people rather than do violence. Because Ama's like, why do people just hurt people? Because she says, once I realized what he did was not love, it hurt. So now, not only do you show us all that bullshit, and you make her mentally ill to the point where she's so in love with this dude that abused her, that she's wearing his boots, she keeps trying to find a new love just like that one, that then you say that she understands that it wasn't even love to begin with, that it was just wrong anyway. So she already understood that she was fucked up. And then, not only that, it gets even worse. Because at the very end of the fucking episode, after Amo and Rio have their cool connecting moment, and then Rio's like, I'll come back. I'll see you again. Don't fucking worry about it. It's awesome. It's great. It's a fun moment. Amo literally closes the door. And then she looks behind her, and she goes, oh my God, what are you doing here? And then you hear, oh, please don't, they're mine, my boots, Like, are you fucking kidding me? Can you give the girl a fucking break? No, you fucking can't. That's how you have to make the show dark and disturbing. You have to fucking make her not only get, like, sold into sex slavery, but then get beat up by the dude. Then we learn about all that, and then we learn that she understands that it was wrong, and that her mom didn't love her, and then that's why she's mentally ill, and then she gets fucking beat up again, her boots get stolen, and at the very end of the show, you find that she's locked in a fucking cage. What the fuck, dude? What the actual fuck is wrong with you? Why would you write that? You didn't need to do any of that, really. You could have just, I don't know, made her mentally ill, made her mom sell her off, made her be lonely in a fucking tower. That would have fucking worked. There's just no need to add a lot of the stuff to do, especially after doing some stuff that you did. Like, it doesn't, you can't make an entire episode about a girl being abused by a dude who's clearly wants to have sex with kids, and then also in the episode previously sexualize that kid. It just goes like because the whole reason you're doing that is like, look, this is bad, you shouldn't do this, but that's what you're doing. What the fuck are you doing? Oh God, dude, what the fuck? I can't fully give this show the props it deserves and everything that it deserves because of this. I can say you know this because I just went on a fucking long rant because of it. Literally, the show. I can't give it just desserts because this exists in it. And I get it. It's trying to show how dark and disturbing it is. It's trying to be like, use it, this is why you're supposed to feel. But it doesn't work with everything you did previously and everything you do like right afterwards. It just give the fucking girl a break. Like, it's fucking insane. Nothing like this happens to anyone else at all. Like, yeah. I mean, Rio has a thing where it's like maybe her parents did something to her, but it's not explained yet, and she's like a crazy assassin girl and everything. It's but I don't know. I don't know yet. I was like, I'm only watching the anime. I was really tempted to read the manga, and learn everything and spoil it for myself. But I only want to watch it. I don't really want to read the manga because then I have to sit there and do the chapters and everything and take the time to fucking read who's a El Bozo. So I'm gonna wait for the anime. I was really tempted to spoil myself and learn everything because I wanted to make sure Amo was okay or learn like the. But like, I get bad things are gonna happen to these people, but after like the whole fight doing that thing, and it just sucks and it's disgusting and it's disturbing in a way that that does not help the show do what it was trying to do. And I think it just didn't belong, and it really took me out of it, and I genuinely wanted to stop watching, but I powered through and I watched the next episode. And like I said, this show had the big thing of being like, that kind of fucking sucks, but it brought me back. But I will not forget about this. Like I will when I'm trying to rethink about the show and I want to like enjoy it. I'm probably gonna skip that episode, but I will not like that. It will not be a thing where like the show is not. The show that gets docked points because it exists inside the show. But now let's talk about the good. Now that the bad thing is, right? Let's talk about the good things. Like I said, the fights are cool. You find out that this girl Rio, who uses scissors, who's also my wife, she might not be. I mean, she might be underage too. Actually, I'm thinking about it again. She's not my wife. I take that back. But she's really cool. She uses scissors, but she kind of uses them differently. She uses her feet to fight with them, and it's awesome. And she's really into mentally ill people, like our resident protagonist Rio, who has a lot of issues in his brain, as we discussed already. And it's just a really cool dynamic between the two. She helps him like learn, like become more comfortable and everything in a weird way, while also flirting with him. But it's fun. She pulls out a gun randomly during the last fights of the show. She just whips out a gun. She doesn't kill anyone with the gun, even though if she would have, it would have saved him in a lot of trouble. She doesn't kill anybody with the gun, which again is stupid. But she shoots Jabber like 8 times. He should be dead. I really think Jabber should be dead. But the last thing we see is he's laughing in the trash piece before it fucking crashes into the fucking ground and everything like that. I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna talk about a lot of the stuff like there because I want you to watch the show yourself and explore and see everything. But the lore. So we find out Rio has these gloves they're from this thing called the Watchmen series. And that's like the first thing we find out is that the gloves are kind of important because they're his object that he uses to do his special power. Then you find out later on the gloves are part of this thing called the Watchmen series. And then you find out later on the Watchmen series was made by this one dude who like killed a bunch of people and was like super powerful and was awesome and everything like that. And then you find out that this thing called the Spellcaster, who was just this guy who draws art, which is a really cool gimmick for them. Like, he's a Spellcaster thing, and he passes on his object from one person to another because it's important like that. It's different from the other ones. So he turns out to be super important because his mural that passes down the artwork and like the legends of the other Spellcasters has the symbol that Rio's glove has on his hand up there on the thing. Now, the symbol is also on the main bad guy. I can't remember his name because it was fucking stupid. All I know is he's voiced by Kenjaku. So the main bad guy has, like, the vest and everything. And it seems like he can make trash beasts. He can make things into trash beasts, which is kind of a cool power. I don't really know what else his power can do. And then Amo had the boots. The boots also had the symbol. So far, we know of 3 Watchmen series items. And that is the boots, the gloves, and the vest. So then we find out the Watchmen series is actually the symbol of this dude called the Undertaker that was friends with the first Spellcaster, which is fucking wild because there was also 3 other symbols next to it, meaning there were 3 other sets or series in the show that have power beyond belief. Now, the thing with the Watchmen series is when you have it, you go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It makes you go crazy. You get immense power, and you get, like, superpowers and everything with your sacred object or your sentimental... I forget the name. But you go crazy. That's why Amo kind of went crazy. The guy who owned her kind of went crazy. The main bad guy is crazy. The weird issue is Rio does not go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. He was already cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. The guy kind of explains it as, like, if you already lost something, if you're missing something, then you understand, and that's how you can learn how to use the power. and not be crazy, but then he's crazy, so it doesn't work. I think what Rio, though, he has like a curse because his hands are blackened, like he has like these weird black hands, and that's not explained yet. But it says it causes him brain melting pain whenever he like looks at him when they're not covered up, and the gloves that he wears stops the pain and soothes him a little bit. And then you find out later on the Undertaker's name, his last name is the same last name as Rio's. So, and that's where the show ends. Which I was like, you son of a bitch. So Rio and the Undertaker from back in the day, the same last name. Rio's dad, his real dad, also apparently there's a rumor, or we learn that he killed a bunch of people. So if there's like this Undertaker curse where like you're destined to murder people, and like everyone kept saying that Rio's destined to kill people, and then he was thrown in the pit because he supposedly killed his stepdad, and we know he didn't do that. He was framed for it and everything like that. Then there's a whole thing where like he's destined to murder people. And that might be why his hands are blackened, because he hasn't committed fucking murder yet, and he has to kill someone to maybe soothe the pain of his lineage or whatever. But apparently, his great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was friends with the first spellcaster. Him and the other 4 people that with the series. So that leads me to believe that the people with the series, they weren't evil, because if the spellcasters weren't evil, then they shouldn't be evil if they were best friends. The spellcasters are kind of like a goofy guy who like likes to just have art and have fun and like keep the peace and everything. But then also the trash must not have always been on the ground. So this has to have been before the sphere was created. So the sphere where did the sphere come from? The fucking sphere rights, does anyone up there know? And then I forgot to mention, you find out that there's this thing called the bearer they always mention, and I don't understand at all what it was. I just thought it was like a thing, because I didn't know it was an actual like object that could kill you. I didn't know it was like an actual object that could kill you, or like it was like a thing that could kill you. I thought it was like a metaphorical barrier that they needed to pass from like the trash pollution to the sky to get up to the sphere. But as they're on this trash dragon, they get up to the sphere, and one of the bad guys gets swooped out the fucking hole, and you look over, and there's just this giant fucking thing just going like this in the sky, and she's looking at it, and then everything goes gray, and it like goes static for a second, and you're like, what the fuck? And then the thing is like, doesn't say anything, and she loses her object, and she starts saying, I understand, it takes it away from you, it takes away your object, it steals it, and then she's yelling for her boss, and she's, I have to tell you, it's the Watchman. And after she says it's the Watchman, she gets another black screen thing happens, and she gets fucking like glitched over, and I'm assuming like bursted into smithereens by the god that is in the sky. Fucking hell. Who is that? I don't know. But when you go and look at the mural thing, it kind of looks like the third mural guy. It looks like it's him. So it could be him. But Rio also sees the Static Shock thing, and he's connected to the Undertaker. So if it is him, then maybe that Rio's connected to it somehow. But they're gonna get back up to the sphere, and I'm really excited to see how. I don't understand why they didn't Rio didn't just let the trash beast take them up there at that time, and that's all he really wanted to do. I don't understand why he doesn't explain to them anything about the sphere and how it works when he's been friends with them for so long, and he can just explain to them some things, because like we get in the last episode, he goes to deliver flowers, and people are like, we never do that down here. That's clearly a tradition lost from time. How long has the trash been on the ground for? Where did the trash piece comes from? Hamina, I think is what the magic thing is called. Where did that even begin? Did it happen when the trash came to the ground? Was there always people giving objects? There has to have been, because apparently the spellcaster was from a long time ago, and there's a giant mural that's been there for a long time. We don't know how long the mural's been there. We don't know the time frame of anything. Why? How did the one dude get the gloves to give to Rio? How did he know about the Watchmen series? Did he know that Rio's connected to the Undertaker? Is that why he told him to change the world and make it not a shitty anymore? Is Rio going to kill everybody up on the sphere? I kind of hope so, because they are kind of assholes. Like, what's going to happen? There's a lot of mystery, and the mystery is way more enticing to me than getting disgusted from the one episode that I'm going to keep watching it. And apparently they're making a video game. I'm probably going to play the video game, which is going to be really fun. And yeah, I'm going to keep watching the show when it comes out. I'll probably do another review on it. But this is just my little review and me talking about Gachiakuta for 40 minutes. I know most of it was me complaining that I hated the show, but I don't hate the show. I like it. There's just a lot of issues I have with it. And I guess the only reason I have so many issues because I really do like it, and I don't want to hate it. So I'm pointing out things that I do hate. Overall, the story is very nice. It's very continuity. You know, we love continuity here. I love when it keeps itself. It keeps building upon itself. Every time it keeps making me ask a question, it does answer that question. Only made me ask another question, but I know it will get answered, hopefully. Usually whenever I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, why is that doing that? It does get answered. Like, the big mystery also, the boss of the cleaners, he's got an eye on the back of his head. No one knows what this object does, but he's dope as fuck, and I love him, and I want to see him in action. The characters are all very fun. They're all very nice. The one dude with the stick really came around. He's probably my favorite character. Rio's all cool, but he's sort of, you know, one track, you know, normal shonen protagonist, in my opinion. But the stick guy is really cool with his backstory and everything. I like that. He's probably my favorite. I like Engine. He's dope. He's the only guy's character's name that I can remember because Amo and Rio. Rio. But yeah, the show's dope. I highly recommend it if you like really hardcore action with like heavy metal music in the background and everything like that. Like I said, be careful about that one episode. It's disgusting and doesn't need to be there, and I will stand by that till the day I die. I'd love to see. I know the creator of the show. The Mushroom Man was saying that the creator of the show constantly defends her anime and stuff or her manga on Twitter and is fighting back against people because she's based. I would love to see her defend that. Why she needed to not only. Maybe it's just the anime thing. Maybe the manga doesn't do it. Maybe I should check the manga out. I don't know, but if it does, I don't understand why she needed to sexualize a child to then have us learn the child was already being abused. It doesn't need to be there. I'm not going to go on a whole rant about that again because I've been here for way too long. I was only going to... This is supposed to be like 20-minute review, but I can never do that because I just like the app. So, thank you for watching. I guess I haven't done it in a while. I haven't done like a video thing in a while. Maybe this is, you know, maybe this is the start of a new era. This is the start of a whole new... We're gonna, yeah. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, I hope you like it. If you want to subscribe, I hope you subscribe. If you want to comment, I hope you leave a comment. Why I think up at the end of the video, man? Come on, this is crazy. I'm a fish. I'm a fucking fish. Oh my god, that worked that time. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I need to find a way to better do this. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you checked this out, if you took the time of your day to keep it going, you got this far. Lucky you. You have you can stick things out. There's a better word to use. Thank you for watching.